Florida has all kinds of places to stay. Big, beautiful resorts, nostalgic beachfront hotels, charming B&Bs, and plenty of those shady motels with free HBO and a carpet you probably don't want to walk on barefoot. But today, we're going to go way beyond the ordinary. These are the most outrageous, most expensive, and most wonderfully unique hotels in the Sunshine State. From underwater sleepovers to giraffes just outside your window to a hotel shaped like a giant Gibson Les Paul. Florida proves once again, if it can be weird, it will be weird. Okay, are you ready to start? Sorry, couldn't resist. We're going to kick things off at one of the kitschiest, most kid-friendly hotels in Florida, Legoland Pirate Island in Winter Haven. Now, this hotel is what happens when your kids take over the design committee and decide that subtlety is for losers. This Lego and pirate theming isn't understated, it's loud, colorful, and maybe even a little bit obnoxious, but you know what? That is kind of what I love about it. Too many big hotels these days lean towards safe design choices. You know what I'm talking about, the agreeable gray walls, bland furniture, and architecture that's so copy and paste it could be anywhere. Every place starts to look and feel the same, but Pirate Island is exactly the opposite. It's bold, it's silly, and it's unapologetically Lego. And I think we need to go back in this direction for places like this. Every room comes with a treasure chest, pirate Lego sculptures, and bunk beds with their own TVs, so your kids will ignore you entirely. And even the elevators get in on the act. They used more than 1.5 million Lego bricks to build over 600 models that are scattered throughout the property. So you know what that means. Don't even think about walking around this place barefoot. Rooms start at about $199 a night. The Grand Bohemian Hotel in Orlando. The Grand Bohemian looks less like a hotel and more like a castle that Dracula decorated on Etsy. Red velvet, crystal chandeliers, and a multi-million-dollar art collection. It's the kind of place where you're never sure if you've walked into a hotel lobby or an art gallery opening, complete with a painted grand piano and nightly jazz. The whole place is part of the quirky Kessler Collection, a boutique hotel group known for filling their properties with original art, wild design choices, and just enough eccentricity to keep things a little bit interesting. In other words, this is not another beige Marriott. It's the kind of spot where you might order a cocktail and suddenly feel like you should be wearing a velvet cape while bidding on abstract sculptures. So if you've ever wanted to sleep in an art gallery curated by a rock star vampire, this might be your place. Rooms here start at approximately $239 a night, but premium suites can go much higher. Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge in Orlando. If you want to sip a coffee while a giraffe photobombs your morning selfie, welcome to Animal Kingdom Lodge at Walt Disney World. Built around a 43-acre savanna, this resort is home to more than 200 animals and birds, including zebras, wildebeest, and flamingos. And this isn't just Disney theming, there are full-time zoologists and wildlife experts on staff here to care for the animals and teach guests about them. The lobby itself is absolutely stunning, with its soaring thatched roofs, carved wood details, and African art collections. Walking in here feels like stepping onto the set of The Lion King. And the restaurants here lean into the theming too, serving fan-favorite dishes like zebra domes. Don't worry, they're just chocolate mousse cakes, no actual zebras are part of the ingredients, and you can order up some boma feasts or try African-inspired bread that's a cult favorite here among Disney fans. And those savannah rooms, they're the showstopper. Step onto your balcony and you might see a giraffe munching leaves just 10 feet away. Honestly, it's like Disney built their own safari right here, except instead of roughing it in a tent, you've got air conditioning, Wi-Fi, and Mickey waffles. This place is not cheap, no Disney properties are. Rooms start at approximately $425 a night and they only go up from there. Savannah View Suites can run over $1,000 a night. And at that price point, you gotta start wondering if it might just be cheaper to book an actual African safari. The Biltmore Hotel in Coral Gables. The Biltmore isn't just a hotel, it's Florida history wrapped in Mediterranean revival architecture. When this building opened in 1926, it was the tallest building in the state, so Miami has a long history of skyscrapers. And it quickly became the playground of the elite. Babe Ruth played golf here, though, let's be honest, he was probably more interested in the 19th hole. Judy Garland performed here, and President Franklin D. Roosevelt even gave a nationwide radio address from its ballroom. And then there's the pool. The Biltmore hosted aquatic galas in its 23,000 square foot pool, with synchronized swimmers, diving exhibitions, and even gator wrestling was an occasional part of the spectacle. And you know, nothing will class a joint up more than some old school Florida gator wrestling. During World War II, the hotel was converted into a military hospital, less champagne, more morphine, and later became a VA office. And of course, it wouldn't be a Florida landmark without a ghost story. Legend says mobster Fatty Walsh still haunts the place after being gunned down in a gambling dispute right here. So if you hear footsteps in the hall, it might be him, or maybe just someone dragging a carry-on with squeaky wheels. Rooms here start at approximately $225 per night, but the suites can climb into the $1,300 range. The Don CeSar, St. Pete Beach. The Don CeSar is the iconic pink palace rising from the white sands of St. Pete Beach. It was built in 1928 during the Roaring Twenties, and it quickly became a magnet for the rich and famous. F. Scott Fitzgerald, Clarence Darrow, and yes, even Marilyn Monroe once stayed here. This place definitely has a strong Great Gatsby vibe. Over the years, it's also hosted presidents from Franklin D. Roosevelt to Bill Clinton and George W. Bush. And from 1931 to 1933, the New York Yankees used the Don CeSar as their spring training base, bringing legends like Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig to the Pink Palace. They even had it in their contract that the Yankees would be served steak every day for breakfast while staying here. And during World War II, it was used as a military hospital, later a VA office, before falling into disrepair and eventually being restored. Locals say its builder, Thomas Rowe, still haunts the halls searching for his lost love. Rooms here start at approximately $290 per night, but suites and peak season stays can climb into the $600 range. And quick pause before we continue. I am on a quest to hit 100,000 subscribers. I'm just a little over halfway there right now, and I would sincerely appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button. I cover everything from Florida's biggest attractions to its quirkiest roadside pit stops, and your support really helps me keep making these videos. Thank you so much. It really means a lot to me. And now let's keep on going. Little Palm Island Resort in the Florida Keys. Little Palm Island is one of the most exclusive resorts in the entire country. So exclusive, you can't even drive there. You have to arrive by seaplane or by boat, which already feels like you're smuggling yourself into luxury. And once you're there, forget about checking Instagram, forget social media. This island is proudly free of TVs, phones, or alarm clocks. No buzzing notifications, no doom scrolling, no kids screaming into an iPad at the pool, just palm trees, hammocks, and the sound of the ocean. It's kind of like an ultra-exclusive, multi-$1,000 version of Gilligan's Island. Except here, no one is trying to get rescued. The thatched roof bungalows come with outdoor soaking tubs and oceanfront hammocks that practically demand you cancel all your plans and hang out here all day. And the guest list has been just as exclusive. President Harry Truman came here to fish, Robert Wagner and Jill St. John honeymooned here, and more recently stars like Sandra Bullock, Cameron Diaz, Blake Shelton, and Lil Wayne have even all checked in to disappear for a while. Now this place is not cheap. Rooms start at approximately $1,800 per night, and premium suites and peak season stays can reach $4,000. The Faena Hotel in Miami Beach. So the Faena Hotel is not subtle. It isn't subtle at all. Its courtyard centerpiece is a 24-karat gold woolly mammoth skeleton in a glass case. Yeah, you heard that right, a gold woolly mammoth. The man behind it is Argentine developer Alan Faena, who brought in filmmaker Baz Luhrmann and designer Catherine Martin, the husband and wife duo behind Moulin Rouge, to dream up its surreal interiors. And it really shows. Every corner looks like it was designed to be a movie set. Red velvet lounges, gilded columns, and murals that look like they belong in a fever dream. Celebrities like Madonna, Leonardo DiCaprio, and even, unfortunately, Kanye West all have stayed here during Art Basel, treating it as their Miami headquarters. And honestly, this place feels more like a stage production than a hotel. And if you're not familiar with Art Basel, Picture an annual Miami Art Festival where someone once sold a banana duct taped to a wall for 6 figures. Yeah, this was that place, and a big crowd of art snobs nodded like they totally got it. Rooms here start at approximately $600 per night and only go up from there. Premium suites can run into the $900 and up range. The Guitar Hotel, Hollywood, Florida. That's not a nickname, that's the actual name they went with. It's literally just called the Guitar Hotel. Somebody in marketing really clocked out early that day. And at 450 feet tall, it's the centerpiece of the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Hollywood, Florida, just outside of Fort Lauderdale. And it feels like it was airlifted directly from Las Vegas and dropped into South Florida. Walking in here is like stepping onto the Vegas Strip. It's a massive casino with thousands of slot machines and table games. There's a poker room where they yelled at me to stop recording, and yeah, they even have a sports book. So if you've ever dreamed of losing money on a Tuesday night Marlins game, your dream just came true. And the hotel even has a large 7,000 seat concert venue where major acts perform. And while I was here, I was honestly really stunned at how much this place felt like Vegas. This place really nails the Vegas vibe. Giant casino, big concerts, fountains, flashing lights. I even saw a guy crying in the bathroom. And honestly, that's when I knew they have perfected it. The centerpiece of the lobby is the Oculus Fountain Show, where water, music, and projection mapping combine into a spectacle that feels more like Bellagio than Boca. Step outside and there's a 13-acre lagoon-style pool complex, complete with swim-up bars, cabanas, and daybeds that are basically small houses. There's everything from fine dining steakhouses to poolside tiki bars, plus dozens of spots in between. And don't miss the memorabilia collection. It's a mini rock and roll museum with costumes, guitars, and oddities from music legends. I'm personally a bit of a rock history nerd, so while I was here, I did spend a lot of time just walking around looking at all this stuff. And at night, the whole building comes alive with choreographed light shows that shoot beams of color into the sky that are so bright, pilots flying into Fort Lauderdale can see them from the air. Rooms here start at around $339 per night. Premium rooms and peak dates can climb over $1,000, but hey, free parking. The Jules Undersea Lodge in Key Largo. Now this is one I've always wanted to stay at. At Jules Undersea Lodge, you can literally scuba dive to check in 30 feet beneath a Key Largo lagoon. Originally a research habitat, this underwater station is not luxurious in the typical sense. It's pretty retro, it's functional and bare bones with modest creature comforts. You'll find hot showers, a small kitchen, cozy beds, and 42-inch round windows where you can watch the fish drift by. NASA astronauts have even trained here to prepare for life in confined spaces, and you can even order pizza and have it delivered by a scuba diver. That's even included with your stay. You gear up in the wet room and enter via a moon pool. Then you move into the air-filled living quarters. It feels less like a luxury escape and more like an immersive science fiction experience. At this place, the novelty is literally in sleeping with the fishes, not over-the-top luxury inside a 450-foot tall Gibson Les Paul. And this place is not cheap. Rates start approximately at $1,300 per person, and couples packages can run over $2,500. And finally, the Casa Casarina in Miami Beach, or better known to most as the Versace Mansion. The Versace Mansion is the definition of outrageous luxury. Fashion designer Gianni Versace bought the 1930s Mediterranean revival home in 1992 for about $3 million, and then he spent more than $30 million turning it into his dream palace. And he went all out. A mosaic pool lined with 24-karat gold tiles, frescoed ceilings, imported Italian marble, and suites designed with lavish themes. And there are only 10 rooms here, so each one feels more like a museum exhibit than a hotel suite. Famously and tragically, Versace's life came to a violent end at the mansion's front steps in 1997, cementing the house as both iconic and infamous. And since then, it's been reborn as a boutique hotel and one of Miami Beach's most photographed buildings. These days, it's a celebrity hangout and a dinner hotspot. Stars like Madonna and Elton John have stayed here, and the on-site restaurant, Gianni's, is an Instagram magnet in its own right. Walk by any time of day and you're probably going to see a lot of tourists snapping selfies on that famous front staircase. Rooms start here at approximately $425 a night and can go up over $700. So which of these places would you spend the night in if you could? Personally, I know it's not the most luxurious, but that underwater hotel looks really cool. Many years ago, I did stay in a suite at the Don CeSar overlooking the water, and that was amazing. I would do that again too. But let me know in the comments, which one of these is your favorite? Which one would you love to stay at? And if you love this kind of thing, from the theme parks to the state parks to little kitschy attractions in between, all over Florida, please hit that like button. Please hit subscribe. I really appreciate that. It means a lot to me. And I will see you in the next one. Stay safe out there, and I will see you around the Sunshine State.